This guy shows up right on time. Come on now. Look at this. As soon as I go live, he starts moving the microphone. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Okay. Oh, man, Steve, that's a long time ago. All right. Come on, Brain, are you ready? Oh, no.
I'm ready.
I don't know how that's going to work out. We can try it. We'll try it, I guess. I'm worried about it. If I knew you were going to do this, I would have done like a special sound test first.
Oh, well, then I'll put it back.
No. We'll try. Yeah, it's not like you talk a lot anyway.
Yeah, I should put it back when I'm not talking.
Yeah, so it's like... Hold the whole stand. Take the whole stand. All right, let's start. Are you serious? 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 728, the Poplio Podcast.
Poplio.
Mom Brain is here.
Hi, guys.
She's back. She's real. She didn't leave me. She didn't stay in Europe and never come home. Hey, kids, Big Ben, Parliament.
I didn't see either Big Ben or Parliament from the ground. I flew over them, I think, but that was it. Because we landed in Heathrow. One of our connecting flights landed there. But more about that later. For now, Poplio is a pinniped Pokemon that is primarily blue. It has large...
Oh, we do something different now. I forgot to tell you. I don't want to hear about all this stuff. Go to...
Who cares what you want? The people want.
Go to, like, what they've been in. That's the action-packed stuff.
Oh. In the anime? Is that what you... like?
No, real life, please.
Poplio debuted in Aloha to New Adventure as Lana's main Pokemon. I mean, but then you don't know what it looks like.
Everybody knows what it looks like already. It's a blue penguin.
It's often seen outside of its Pokeball. It evolved into, I won't say, in evolving research and again into something else in SM120. A Poplio briefly appeared alongside Rowlet and Litten in I Choose You. A trainer's Poplio appeared in a flashback.
You have no spatial awareness.
No, I don't. We know this.
It's like pointing at your neck.
Well, I had it tilted down before when I had it on the table. You interrupted me. A trainer's Poplio appeared in a flashback in Battling the Beast Within as a resident of what is now the Ultra Ruin.
Yes. We're all familiar.
Okay, so...
After you finish the first paragraph, you can just go back up to, like, it's this
Well, but also in the manga.
Sure, if you want to tell us about that.
Poplio debuted in The Delivery of Rotom and the Girl under the ownership of Professor...
Oak.
Kukui.
No, it's Oak. You pronounced it incorrectly.
In PASM 16, he was revealed to have given it to How.
Who?
How, H-A-U.
How, okay.
I guess.
Yes, of course.
No, not who. How.
It
is a water type Pokemon. Its abilities include Torrent. Its hidden ability is Liquid Voice, much like myself.
Liquid Voice. Ooh. That's what the old Frank Sinatra had. Whatever his nickname was. Blue Eyes.
They are 87% male, 12%
you a big Sinatra fan?
Female. I like Frank.
Frank the Tank.
Isn't he from New Jersey?
I believe he's from New Jersey, yeah.
Trend makes the world takes.
So is...
The boss?
No. Someone good, thank you. A Tony Bennett.
Really?
I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong. Probably wrong.
I don't know. All good things come from New Jersey.
Hey, Siri. I mean, why would it work? Hey, Siri. Thanks for nothing.
Hey, Siri.
Oh.
Where's Tony Bennett from?
Tony Bennett was born in New York City.
Do you know how many people confuse us with New York City?
New York's own. Never mind. Yeah. Well, thanks, Mom Brain. That was great.
Wait, they're a foot tall and 16.5 pounds on average.
Well, thanks, Mom Brain. Oh, there we go.
You're welcome.
That's what I was... Now, very gently. Because it picks up... Oh, that was good. It picks up a lot of, like, table noise if you're tapping and stuff. Thanks, Mom Brain. That was great.
You're welcome.
The old bagpipe noise just started. Now remember, again, if you want to talk, you're going to have to be close to the microphone. I know you're not.
I don't want to talk, actually.
You don't usually talk. That's true.
It reminds me of that song from Charlotte's Web.
I'm really gonna have to get you a headset, aren't I?
No, you're not.
Hi, Antonio, and God Mode, and Cooter, and Northern, and Gold, and Agent Ironcat, and Rodney, and Games Cubes. I love that name. And Timothy, and oh boy, I've already forgotten who I said. I said Antonio. And Steve Weiss, who's joining us live, who doesn't usually join us live. And he said the last time, let me get this out. Last time I watched live, Nintendo was a regular. So it's been a while. And Turquoise Gold Scraper, and the Namekian Clown, and whoever else I didn't see. Hello, Tass, and Drake, and Suave. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Yes, Mom Brain is back.
I missed you all.
Kirby will be joining us. I have not heard that he's not joining us, so he should be here. Are you excited for the soundboard? I talked it up for 2 weeks, and now it's time for the oh, wait. No soundboard. Why is that, Mom Brain?
I think it's because of your poor planning and preparation and leaving.
Really?
Yeah. You had how many weeks to get the pieces and parts that you needed? The night before, all of a sudden, excuse me.
Hi, Roth.
A poor planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine.
You had the soundboard.
And then you had 2 weeks to get what you needed to make the soundboard work when I got here. Also, P.S. and by the way, you're the one who told me to take it.
Yeah, no, I know. I
was prepared to use birthday money.
That was fun. No,
to purchase
that's so dumb.
A tablet so that you could have your precious soundboard.
That's such a waste of money. It was no problem you taking the iPad with you.
You heard it here first.
To get the stuff to actually make it work, I need the iPad to test it.
Oh. Sure. Well, I've been home since Monday.
And what I get 1 day out, and then I was planning on going Friday to the store. Hello, Kirby.
Hey, Kirby.
Don't worry, Kirby. There's no soundboard. We're talking about it right now.
It's not my fault.
It is her fault.
I believe.
Thank you.
Damn it.
I believe when.
Mom Brain, on Thursday night, I was planning on going Friday night to get it and then stay up during the night and work on it. And I was like, Mom Brain, what's your plan tomorrow? And she said, absolutely nothing. And I said, are you sure? And she said, yes, absolutely nothing. And I said, okay, because my plan was going to get...
Which he didn't tell me was his plan, by the way.
Why do I have to tell you?
Because it's going to play into this.
So anyway, the next day, she's like, oh, I got to go watch a kid for 9 million hours. And I was like, oh, can you take the truck? And she said, no, because I got to, I don't remember, go somewhere.
Because I was taking him out and I didn't want to, I can't take him in the truck. It's not safe.
He's not allowed to ride in the trunk.
The back of the trunk.
And also he opens car doors while you're driving. So.
Well, I mean, everybody does that to feel alive a little bit.
That's why when we ride in the cube, you always have my door locked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly
so
right.
Now we have the chat typing in the soundboard quotes because we don't have the soundboard.
Meow.
We have the meow. We have the game is not fun. So Cooter says, Mom Brain, why did you leave RMC home? Why?
Like when I went away?
Timothy says it's my favorite old married couple.
Oh, so I don't know if you mentioned this. You probably did. Was it just you and your grandma that went on the trip? Okay, I wasn't sure if your mom went too.
Plus the all the other old people she met there. Wow.
Beverly and Wally from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
They're farmers.
Of course.
They celebrated their 65th wedding anniversary on the boat.
Wow.
No children. They just never got around to it. So they've had a spectacular life. They're in excellent health. They have
no children. Spectacular life.
Yeah.
Just a coincidence.
yeah. Just plenty of money to travel the world. They retired, young. They have housekeepers and people doing the farming for them.
Housekeeping.
So they were wonderful.
They sound wonderful.
They really were. And in fact, when I got home, I got a text message from Beverly asking after my health and well-being because she heard New Jersey was getting lots of rain. So she wanted to make sure.
Everybody knows the rain is very dangerous.
God bless the rains down in New Jersey.
No, don't God bless them.
So they're my new best friends, actually. And they were some of the older folks on the boat, but I was definitely the youngest by far. Like far. Oh, except for one girl who was really young and she was there with her family.
You see the glasses cleaner?
No, I don't.
Well, anyway, we're very happy to have you back, Mom Brain.
I'm happy to be back. Thank you.
And hopefully next week we will have the soundboard. I'll be going out.
Yeah, we'll be away.
What do you think? We're just going to have a week where I don't do the podcast?
But with the soundboard, does it make sense to futz with it?
Let me hear this explanation. Why would it not make sense to do the soundboard?
No Kirby, like that's.
Why would it be no Kirby? Do you not remember how for like the last 10 years we've done the podcast? We do it on the Thursday before we go.
Wow.
I forgot that too, actually.
Well, that's fine.
I'm busy. I have a board meeting. I think.
I almost swallowed
Maybe
my
not.
gum.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do it Thursday. I just don't know when because my parents are probably going to be here and we need to tell them how to live here because they're going to be taking care of the cat. So I don't know if I'll do it like just early during the day or maybe like I'll do a crazy like midnight podcast. I don't know. I have to do it Thursday. There's no chance in hell I'm bringing all this stuff with me to North Carolina. But that's what I usually do is we do the show the Thursday before or the Friday if we're driving overnight, which we're not. We're doing a normal person thing this time and driving during the day. And we got a hotel there.
The youngins are doing the crazy drive.
Their first time, right?
I think so.
An overnight drive. Yeah. I mean, we did that for a few years and it's great. It's just when you get to North Carolina, like that day's spent because you're so tired.
Oh, yeah.
For those who don't know.
I did that last year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. For those who don't know, every year the one vacation I go on is with my family to North Carolina. We've been doing it for like 20 plus years, and we are going this coming week. We are leaving on Friday and coming back on Saturday. But
the following Saturday.
Yeah, drive Friday and then turn right around and come home. Business continues as usual for GoNintendo. I will be doing my normal work as usual. We will have the podcast when we come home on that Saturday at whatever time we get home. And we will do another podcast before then. So yeah, nothing's going to change for you guys. It's just, it's a pain in the butt for me, but that's what it is. All right. Now let's talk about the topic on everybody's minds. Cats, the movie.
I think we covered cats last week.
We did cover cats, but there's just so much more to talk about. No, we're not going to talk more about cats. I said I would talk a little bit about this earlier.
It looks like grandma.
I said I would talk about this earlier in the week, and I will talk about it a little bit. I did a video on. Well, let's start at the very beginning. NPR has a show called This American Life that talks about, I don't know, what do they talk about? Everything?
Yeah.
I know they talk about Lake Wobegon, right?
No.
Or what show is that?
No, that's,
Is that Garrison Keillor?
Yeah.
Used to be. Well, I mean, he still is Garrison Keillor, just, you know.
Yeah, he's just not.
No, that's the Perennial Companion.
Not in fine standing.
Thank you, okay.
This American Life, I think, just has like themed episodes about anything, really, as long as it's related to America.
Always, yeah.
Well, anyway, they did one that had a segment on Final Fantasy VII and the scene where Aeris is killed. Spoiler alert.
It's too late for a spoiler alert if you've already spoiled.
It was a joke because the game's like 20 years old.
I still haven't played it.
I lost my train of thought.
Oh, poor Kirby.
But I obviously knew about the
so
death scene.
They did a segment on that. It was a segment about like the whole show was about, I don't know, damsels in distress or something like that. And the segment that they did on Final Fantasy got a lot of people riled up because they felt like it was, I I don't know, they were just upset with it. So I had a lot of people reaching out to me about it. There's also somebody, Jason Cirillo, who's a developer that worked on what's the name of the game? Oh, I can see it. It's the little yellow guy. It's retro.
Pac-Man.
No, Whoa Dave. Whoa Dave.
That was close.
That's a great answer. That little yellow guy, what's his name? Yeah, Whoa Dave. He worked on, and he had tweeted about it. And I reached out to him for more information, and then I happen to have other people reach out to me too, just talking about it. So I listened to the segment. Not Jason Derulo, Steve. No,
I was actually thinking of Jason Derulo, who happens to be in Cats.
That's right.
As the Rum Tum Tugger.
Jason Cirillo. So I listened to the segment, and I did what I normally do. I went over on YouTube and I put together my own video that was a rebuttal to what was said in the NPR piece, but is very level-headed and no yelling or name-calling or anything angry like that. I make sure to take a very even-keeled approach when I do that sort of thing, but I felt the NPR discussion had their side of this story, and then I had my side of the story. So I put together my video and put that out, and there was a good reaction to it. And I was like, well, now that both sides are out, this would be lovely to wrap things up by reaching out to the lady who did the NPR segment, and we could maybe do an interview or a discussion together. That'd be a great way to bring both sides together. So I reached out to her on Twitter, and she was not happy.
Ooh.
She said she was very hurt by what I did because she said usually people, I'm paraphrasing, she said usually people will reach out to interview a subject before they put their piece together. And to myself, I was like, but that's not what I was doing. I didn't want an interview. You had your point. I did my counterpoint. And then the next part of it was going to be us talking together. I thought that'd be a fun way to discuss things. So we had a conversation via Twitter DM, and I won't get into all the details, but she decided not to participate. So that's where the story ends, which is very disappointing. I purposefully go out of my way to make sure I present things in a manner that aren't like rude or mean or anything like that. And I'm also very clear in saying that sometimes I have an opinion that may be uninformed, or sometimes I may be getting things just completely wrong and I don't know, and that's why I'm reaching out to the person. So yeah, it was a rebuttal. It wasn't meant to be an interview or anything like that. I was hoping to have some sort of discussion afterwards because I thought it just made sense. You know, she did her piece, I did my piece, and then we talked together. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Antonio.
Go ahead.
Antonio, Antonio says, "What is this about? I can't follow the story." NPR did a piece on Final Fantasy, or did a whole show about like damsels in distress. There was one part about Final Fantasy VII where Aeris is killed, and the woman who put the segment together was saying, "I can't understand why boys would cry at this. I can't understand why it was an emotional moment." That's very it's a 7-minute piece, and I'm summing it up in like.
Yeah, and your
30 seconds.
issue was really with just that one sentence, really, and the way she phrased it.
There was like I chose like a 15 to 20 second discussion, which was the part that everybody messaged me about that got them riled up. So that's what I focused on. Yes, but so my piece was on emotional reactions to games in general, as well as specifically like the Final Fantasy scene. And I put together my video and I sent it to Do Michaels because he's a big Final Fantasy VII fan, because I wanted to get his opinion. And he was very, let us say, annoyed with what the woman said. So I don't have any ill will for her or towards her. I'm not angry. I'm not disappointed in the way she reacted. I am upset that she said that the piece was hurtful, because I don't want to do that with anybody. But overall, I am disappointed that we couldn't have a final piece to discuss, because I was like excited for it. I thought it'd be fun to do, like have an open discussion between the two of us, and come out of it hopefully better on both ends of it. But no deal. So. That's what happened there. And Mom Brain is a big fan of NPR.
I mean, like on the books.
So
like,
now we're blacklisted. Can't listen to it in the car. They say not allowed. That's not true.
I guess because I rely almost solely on NPR for like entertainment and
Sleep.
news in the car, and I love NPR. I'm just disappointed.
Hi, Robert.
I'm disappointed that someone representing NPR wouldn't be more open to engaging in a conversation, especially considering the tone you took that was like very open and had journalistic integrity. I guess I'm just disappointed that someone who represents NPR wouldn't be willing to engage in that conversation.
I guess in her place, she was just thinking like she did her thing. I did mine and was like, what are you going to do about it? Like, I guess that's how she felt. Like I was doing like a gotcha piece or something to be like, I'm forcing your hand. Now you have to talk. But I really don't like.
Could it also?
I wasn't forceful in my video at all. And I clearly say multiple times, I could be wrong about how she feels. And, what I'm saying isn't gospel. There's no right or wrong answer.
I guess I wonder if it also comes from a place of like, it appears as though the piece was done on damsels in distress and like how we're like over that. And like as a woman, she was representing like saying like, oh, I don't know. What.
Yeah, but that's no, because that's not what the whole thing was about. Like they came at it from a whole bunch of different segments. I don't want to misconstrue what their whole thing was about.
So she wasn't taking like a more like female centric approach, and it's like, don't you as a man tell me how to like.
That had nothing to do with. That's why I wanted to stop you. No, it's just about like how this character, in her opinion and mine too, is a one-dimensional character, and she couldn't understand why boys were crying about it so much because she. I don't know why really she felt that it wasn't worthy of emotion, to tell you the truth. She said it was one-dimensional. She talked about the visuals, and in a DM, in the piece, everybody took it that she meant the visuals were rudimentary, so that was playing into how she couldn't understand how you would have the emotions. But in her DM to me, she told me she was talking about the visuals because she said it in a rather condescending way to tell me like, podcasts are an auditory medium, and she was describing it for the listeners as if I don't know that. Like, yes, I understand a radio show is for people listening, so you have to describe. I'm saying the way she was describing it made it more sound like she was commenting on how the visuals weren't worthy of the emotions that people were having. But, yeah, like they had another. I mean, what I have to do is. I can read you the little segment that they had about like how they describe the episode, just so again we don't misconstrue things. It's called Save the Girl. People go on missions to save young girls from danger, but sometimes they get so caught up in the mission that it overshadows the girl herself. That's their synopsis of their piece. So that's what they're saying about Final Fantasy VII. Eris is like a major motivation for going forward and doing what you're doing in Final Fantasy VII because she meets such a shocking end. But they're saying that mission overshadows who the girl was herself. But in this case, they're saying the girl was very one-dimensional and provided, I believe they said she provided two functions, like to be nice and to be helpful, and that was it. Like there was nothing else to her. Again, I do agree that it's a one-dimensional character, at least I think so, but that doesn't mean I didn't have an emotional reaction to that moment or the character in general. So yeah, I tried. It's sad. I'm disappointed that I upset someone, but I'm also.
She didn't block you, did she?
No.
Okay.
She also. No, she didn't block.
Okay.
We had a very lengthy discussion. I apologized to her for upsetting her. She took the apology.
Okay.
But
that's something.
Yeah, that was that. And I'm not going to be an asshole and keep pushing and be like, can we please try this? Can we do that? And I left it open at the end. I said, I'm sorry to hear that. If you'd like to do something down the road, I'm more than willing to. My DMs are open. You can always reach out. And I just left it at that. So who knows? Maybe one day. Mother Brain says, hello, what are you talking about?
So do you think, how would you summarize the gaming community's reaction to her piece overall?
I can just picture it in my head right now.
Not good.
Okay.
Let us say.
Is it like a burn the witch kind of a not good?
It's the internet, so it's always like that.
And so there's two pieces for me to that. There's the piece that's like, for her, like, I'll never win with the internet. So like, what's the point of me even entertaining, trying to make right? Like, as long as she feels good about what she did, then that's all we can ever, any of us, ask for ourselves. But the other side of it is you opened a door for her to go out into the world and connect directly to the people who she may have pissed off and say, like, I think you misunderstood me. What I meant was this, or screw you guys. I meant what I said. I said what I meant. And you can go scratch if you don't like it. Like, she, by not talking to you, missed the opportunity to be able to like set it straight.
Well, she didn't want to engage with the negativity that was
understandably
out there. And I mean, I get that, but I understand not wanting to put more content out there for people to engage with and be negative about. But also, I am not the one being negative. Like, it would be lovely just to have a conversation to,
But maybe she's not thinking of it in terms of you. She's thinking of it in terms of just like the world at large. And she could be, considering what she does for a living, very jaded. I'm not defending her not wanting to collaborate with you. Like, I think it would have probably been a good thing for her to do. But I guess I could
legitimately excited to have the conversation.
Yeah,
but you're probably like one out of
right.
I will say the comments, not just
the worst thing.
The comments, not just on Twitter or on our video in particular, or on the internet in general, the large majority wasn't just like, I disagree with your statement, let us have a discussion. It was like, die, you're a terrible person.
Right.
Standard internet fodder.
I will come to your house and kill and rape you.
Standard internet response. So I understand not wanting to. Listen, it's not the way I would have handled it, but that doesn't mean somebody else has to handle it differently. So that was the fun I had this week. Also, during this week, I got yelled at by other companies, but we'll leave that out of it.
Did you break embargo on something?
Yes, actually, I did on something, and one thing was completely my fault. But they were very good about it. They were they didn't yell at me at all. I accidentally broke embargo on the reveal of Omega Labyrinth Life. I think that's the name of it, coming to the States. And the PR person got in touch with me and was like, you broke embargo on this. It's okay. Just take it down. I think we're going to get it before anybody notices, like anybody, the higher ups notice. So I yanked it and I was like, oh my God, I apologize. I don't know. I thought it was the 25th, but it was the 24th. I don't know what happened. I had a complete brain fart, and I specifically made sure to double check the time on the post. It was set to go at 9 in the morning.
Excuse me.
And I was like, I got to make sure it's up at 9. I can't let it go out there first, or I can't let it go out there before it's 9 o'clock. And I so I got the 9 o'clock right. I just jumped it by 24 hours, but it was totally cool. Everything was taken care of.
Is this an indie company?
No, it's who's putting that game out? It's like a traditional third-party company.
Okay.
I don't remember who's publishing. I want I'm gonna say NIS America or maybe Marvelous. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
Marvelous Entertainment. No, I was wrong on both accounts. D3 Publisher, but still another traditional, notable third party.
Well, I was just going to ask if like the bigger companies, if they tend to be like nicer or more nicer about stuff like this, or like.
Yeah, indies are always very different.
Okay.
Like I was talking to an indie developer today, the guy who did Phobia, which comes out on Switch August 1st, I believe. I reached out to him because I was interested in
Phobia.
Covering the game, and
Y'all got a Phobia?
He remember your microphone's there. I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I want to cover your game. And he's like, yeah, here you go, and gave me a code. And I was like, oh, thanks. What's the embargo? What am I allowed to talk about? When can I do footage? And he's like, I just do whatever you want.
Oh,
I was like, oh, this is so refreshing, because everybody else is like, don't talk about level 7 where
there's always
the
a
wizard
list.
knight fires his magic blue spell. You may talk about the red spell, but don't talk about it if it hits the king instead of the princess. Like, that's not an exaggeration of how crazy
Wow.
the embargo stuff is. With Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the embargo stuff was so crazy. It's like, don't talk about this character. The embargo for Marvel Ultimate Alliance specifically stated you may have 5 minutes of footage,
Mhm.
but you cannot have clips that are longer than a minute. So I had to have 5 minutes in total could be used, but each piece of that had to be no more than a minute long. It's
Gotcha.
like, okay. So when I did the review, I had to use footage from the trailer because I couldn't fit my review into 5 minutes.
Why don't they then just put like a video package together for you and be like, play this with your review?
Yes. Yeah. Or you would
That's
do
a great
B-roll. Companies put
Right,
out B-roll
right.
where it's like, here's 20 minutes of approved footage. Go for, and they'll say
Doesn't
like,
that
make sure you
sense? Because then
label
they
it.
have complete control. Like nothing but this gets posted.
I mean, I have no counterpoint to this because I agree. Yeah.
If only everything was that simple.
Meanwhile, the problem is other people are like buying the game because Walmart's like, yeah, well, there's no street date, and they're like playing the full thing and like streaming it, and everybody that's following the review embargo is like, well, nothing we
What
can
was
do.
the point in doing all this work?
Yes. Well, I could do many episodes of the podcast about all that crazy stuff. I talk to Andre at Game Explain pretty much on a weekly basis because he goes through all that stuff as well, and we're often always double checking with each other embargo rules because sometimes they're written in such strange ways that you can't make sense of it.
Mhm.
And I'll be like, Andre, what does this mean? And he's like, uh-oh, I was going to message you and ask what it meant. And I was like, well, maybe if we both do the same thing, we won't get in trouble. Oh, it happens. Also, I've had companies where I like follow the embargoes or you're banned forever, and then they don't send an embargo. And I'm like, there's no guidelines here. And they're like, oh my God, we're so sorry. We forgot to send that. So it's fun. All right. Well, that was a fun, more serious conversation than usual on the old GoNintendo podcast. I want to give a special thank you to Drew Betke. I believe that's how you say his name, who is one of our Patreon members. I'll be thanking a Patreon member in each podcast episode. The Patreon gang decided I should do one and thank them each week. So I'm thanking Drew today because he is
Thanks, Drew.
our
Thanks.
latest Patreon member. If you want to check out the Patreon, go to my Twitter page, and it's pinned to the top, or you could just go to patreon.com/GoNintendo. It's $1 for the Patreon for everything. That's it. What did we talk about this week? Talked about games you guys are going to play on the weekend. Talked about what did I do? I reviewed the first issue of the new Blade Runner comic. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
Oh, rest in peace, Rutger Hauer.
I
by
also
the way.
mentioned that. Yeah,
Aw.
my original plan this week was to write about the Blade Runner comic because I'm doing Wednesdays as comic feature day. And the day before, we found out he passed away. So I was like, this is unfortunately perfect timing. So I put a little thing in there for him. Hello, Elfman.
Yeah, and this is when I first heard that he had passed, I didn't, it didn't occur to me that he died in the year that the film takes place.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
2019.
That is also when the comic takes place.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And I believe they said it takes place directly after the events of the first movie. And this comic is written by the guy who did Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, nice.
So it is canon. It's the real deal. But yeah, we've been having fun over on Patreon. Thanks. Hello, Matt. Thanks for joining us. And thanks to all of our Patreon people. All right, now let's do some news. What do we got here? We have a rumor about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Speaking of comic books, we have a rumor that the game is selling beyond what was expected, which is great news. This information comes from Benji Sales, who apparently has some inside contacts that get him sales information. I tried to verify this information, but I couldn't. I reached out to NPD's Matt Piscatella, who has been so phenomenal. And I've talked about him a whole bunch of times on the show because he does a great job. He does a really great job of getting the sales information out there, and he's very responsive and receptive. So I saw this information. I didn't know if he would be able to talk about it. I reached out and I said, hey, Matt, can we talk on Twitter DM? I have a question. He got in touch within 5 minutes. I asked him and he said, unfortunately, I don't have any of that data yet, but I'll keep you posted. So here we go. This is what we've heard rumored. The game's first 48 hours of sales are tracking significantly ahead of expectations in the United States, and it could be the third biggest Switch launch of 2019 so far. Which is pretty damn good. Tracking significantly ahead of other big launches on Switch, such as Mortal Kombat 11 and Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Now, we've had sales charts come up, like eShop charts, which don't give numbers but give placement. And as of today, I believe it was, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was number 2 overall, being only beaten out by Fire Emblem Three Houses, which just launched. So that's pretty damn good for it to beat out Super Mario Maker 2, which is, has been out for a few weeks. And I believe that was 3rd place. But that's really good. Top rated comment comes from Mine Without a Cause. And he says, I'm a 30-something man with 30-something friends. And I had 7 people over here yesterday who had all purchased this game. And we played for 11 hours. Well, there you go. There's your proof. Yeah. Hello, Joey. Hello, Joe. Like I said before the game came out, Marvel is huge right now, bigger than it's ever been. Disney has really taken the whole Marvel universe and turned it into a household name, really. Like, it's so crazy to me that like people nowadays know who like even just Iron Man is. Hello, Joe. Or, Black Widow or Vision or any of them. Like, beyond Spider-Man, the general public.
Batman, Superman.
Yeah, which are DC, but
still.
Well, that's why I wasn't naming them, because they're DC. But beyond Spider-Man, like Marvel didn't really have any like household name characters really to the level of the degree that we're at now. I mean,
the X-Men were pretty popular.
X-Men were popular, yeah. Just I know people would be able to say X-Men as like a franchise, and if you were like name an X-Man, they'd say Wolverine. Probably.
Yeah, they might say Wolverine. I don't know. But that might be about it.
Yeah, but yeah, now like Endgame is the biggest movie in the world.
Yeah,
ever. Inflation, all that
it's
jazz.
Also the best movie that has ever been made.
We did just have a talk about this, and she picked it as one of her best movies again during this week.
Yeah.
So
I would say it's one of my favorite.
I'll say it's
one of my
definitely
favorite movies.
Yeah, I'll say it's definitely a better movie than Avatar, which is why I was glad to see it. Knock it out of the top spot.
Drew makes a good point. He says also another household name with the Marvel universe is Howard the Duck. Everybody knows Howard.
I mean, he might be more popular now.
Yeah.
Now's
the time, Lucas. Make another Howard the Duck movie.
His cameos and
he was in Endgame.
The MCU, yeah.
And he was in both Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I don't know if he was in
Seth Green.
Yes. I don't know if he was in the previous Avengers movie, but I know for sure he was in those 3. But yeah, Marvel is like a huge deal now.
They're kind of a big deal.
But your X-Men point is a very good one. People, I'm sure, would be able to at least say X-Men.
Yeah, I was reading it might have been like a review of the first Avengers movie. And it, talked briefly about how Marvel had, before they were bought out by Disney, they were, having financial troubles, and they were like, and they ended up, they had tried making movies, but they, weren't very successful in doing so, and then they ended up licensing their, Spider-Man and the X-Men. X-Men specifically, because those were like their most popular characters at the time. And so then obviously the rights to Spider-Man were given to the Sony,
who's still hanging on to them, although
right,
they work a lot more closely with Disney now to make them happen.
Collaborative effort now. And X-Men was sold to Fox, which is of course now owned by Disney. But I digress. Oh yeah, so basically the article said that when Marvel was when they started making their own movies again, they were left with their Avengers characters who were important characters in the comics, but weren't as popular as the ones that they had sold the rights to.
That's the like amazing thing that like throughout the last 10 plus years, they really have made those characters like household names. Really, it's crazy to me. They certainly put in the work, and I feel they more than deserve it. I know there's a lot of discussion that's like, Disney's evil and big and bad, and I'm not going to say I don't disagree with some of that, but still respect where respect is due. They turned those characters into a big deal. So at least outside of the comic book universe, they took them to the general public and they made it work, and it took a lot of time and a lot of planning, and they did some great casting and some great writing, and just they're fun movies. So.
Oh yeah. It's not just they. What I'm saying is they couldn't have done that just by like throwing a bunch of money at something.
Exactly. I mean, as we can see with
there was talent involved on some level.
Like the DC movies have been hit or miss in terms of not just revenue but quality. More miss on quality, I believe. But there have been some that have made money for better or worse. But as far as
that Aquaman did pretty well.
It did, very well. As far as like their approaches to movies go, I don't think they could be any different. Like Disney has a very cohesive like vision of where they want to take things, and I feel like
that's what everyone keeps saying. That's
DC
why
is just like
succeeded,
just popping out movies here and there. I hope they change that. But.
I don't know why I did this. A couple of weeks ago, I decided to watch the Justice League movie. I didn't pay for it.
But you paid for it.
I think I was like at my mom's house, like doing my laundry. No one was home, and I was like, because I had heard all about how like all the problems that went on with that movie and how it was re-edited, and it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's it's dumb. It has like a very like basic plot, but. And I haven't seen, I didn't see Man of Steel or Batman v Superman, so
no, I have not seen any of those.
But I'm sure, like, watching those would have made Justice League seem even weirder because I keep hearing about how the characters have been completely changed.
Yeah, that was my understanding too. There's two DC movies I'm looking forward to: Joker. Which I think that first trailer to me looks fantastic.
Now, are they making two Joker movies still?
I mean,
I know about the
all I know is the one that's coming out this year.
The one with Joaquin Phoenix.
That's the one I'm excited about. I think that first trailer blew me away. Love that trailer. I think that movie looks really good just based on that trailer. I'm very excited for it. And I also want to see the Suicide Squad movie, the second one, because it's done by the guy who
that's right.
What's his face? Guardians of the Galaxy guy. So I feel like if anybody can steer it in the right direction, it'll be that guy. Can't remember his name. Somebody in the chat will know it.
Wait, don't tell me.
Roth, I've heard the new Swamp Thing show is good, but I also heard it was canceled already. Like they did one and it was done because
James Gunn.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not because of budgetary things, but because the creative direction, like they couldn't decide if they wanted to be more campy or more serious. And I believe the main staff involved with creating it was taking it in a darker, more serious tone. And the powers that be at DC weren't sure that was the way to go. So apparently the first season is great, and that's all that we get. So,
but they did actually complete the whole season.
Yeah, whole season's done. They aired the second episode and then it was canceled. But they are airing all the other episodes of the first season are available. So you get one season. How does that happen? How do you make a whole season and then things fall apart so badly that you just don't make any others? I don't get it. I also hear Doom Patrol on DC's channel DC's network is very good too. I've heard great things about that show. I'm reading the new Doom Patrol comic. I was new to Doom Patrol. I knew some of the characters, but I did some research going into it.
I first learned about them from watching Teen Titans.
Yeah, I mean that was my first interaction with them. But yeah, I did some more research. Oh my god, Doom Patrol is like one of my favorite comics right now. It's very apparently like Doom Patrol is supposed to be like a very just a extra weird group of characters together that are solving and dealing with all kinds of extra weird issues. Very like surreal, and just the first issue of the new Doom Patrol comic is out, and I haven't read anything else like it. It's very unique. It's really interesting.
Oh, speaking of Swamp Thing, do you remember the old live action Swamp Thing series on USA?
Oh, of course I do. Yes.
And like during the opening of the show, Swamp Thing would say, "Do not bring your evil here."
I don't remember that specifically, but was there a Swamp Thing cartoon?
There was.
I thought so.
And the I remember, I don't know if I ever watched an entire episode, but the theme song was basically Wild Thing, but they changed it to Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I should play it.
Elfman says he heard Swamp Thing was canceled because they were promised tax cuts in their filming location, but the negotiations fell through, so they would have had to move production and was not worth the money. Yeah, I heard that as well, Elfman, but I specifically heard, hello, Alawolf. I heard multiple times that wasn't just the one issue with the show. While you're looking at the theme, I have to continue on. Oh my God, this has been a discussion-heavy show. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. I was going to say something else. Did I say hi to Feeling Fine just now? I'm losing my mind. Amazon.
Oh, you know what? I should play it like during the outro.
Okay. That's a great idea. Amazon had their Prime Day. And
I heard it was a bit of a shovel show.
In the isn't it always in the United States?
No, I heard the workers all went on strike.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. In the United States.
Good for them.
In the UK and in Australia, the Switch was the most searched for platform. Or no, I shouldn't say platform. I should say item in general was the most searched for item in all three of those areas. Obviously, it wasn't the top selling on Prime Day because there really weren't any deals for the Switch because it's selling so well. They're not going to cut the price or offer a really good drop on it for one day. But people were hoping that would be the case. So all three of those regions, it was the most searched item. People were also looking for, if you're curious, TVs, Fire Sticks, headphones, air fryer, number 5, Instant Pot, Fitbit, wireless earbuds, Ring doorbell, and the iPad. That was in the United States. Also, over in the UK, they were looking for Legos, laptops, Audible subscriptions, the PS4, Kindle, the Echo, and the Echo Dot. And then in Australia, they were looking for things that weren't already mentioned. Power bank, Tommy Hilfiger clothing. Is that big in Australia?
It was big here in the 90s.
And Sonos.
Oh yeah.
Is it still big here? I don't know fashion.
No, maybe. I mean, I don't know fashion either, but
I don't think it's as big as it was, when we were in high school.
My aunt used to call it Hilfinger and thought it was Hilfinger. Jenny thought it was Hilfinger.
Tommy Hilfiger.
I don't know that she knows that I know that's what she was always saying, but Tommy Hilfiger.
She doesn't know that you know that she knows that you know.
I don't know that she knows it's wrong.
Okay.
How do you get her to say it
I
nowadays?
think my mother says Hilfinger.
Oh, that new Tommy Hilfiger collection looks so good.
Sounds like something your dad would say.
I think my mom says Hilfinger.
Oh, my dad said something so weird the other day. I can't keep up with it.
You can't remember it because it's not really a standout thing. I posted about it on Facebook.
He said all these people on YouTube are sucking lollipops. But he wasn't watching YouTube. There's no commercial on TV for YouTube. The conversation wasn't about YouTube. He just literally said it out of nowhere. I think we were watching like Holy Moly, that mini golf show on ABC, and he just.
Is that true though? Is that like the new trend? It's
I don't know. I asked him where it came from.
Of
and he's like,
it's people sucking on lollipops.
He couldn't tell me like what spawned it in his head. He just, thanks for coming, Joey. Yeah, I mean, I'm on YouTube a lot. Maybe I run in different circles than him, but I haven't seen lots of lollipop sucking. Autumnal Blake says, out of all the things you can buy, Switch was highest searched. That's super awesome. I wonder if some people didn't buy because they're holding out for a light or for the light or a revision. Well, yeah, like I said, it wasn't in the top 10 selling because there just wasn't a deal, but people were hoping to find a deal. The discussion of Switch Joy-Con drift has been going on for a long time. Again, a very quick summary. Joy-Con drift this happens to any controller, but people were saying it was happening a lot more with the Switch Joy-Con. The joystick reads an input when you're not actually touching it. So like a camera would be moving or a character would be moving when you're not actually touching the joystick because it's a little bit askew. And Nintendo has released a statement on the situation, but we're going to skip that statement because more importantly, they've said in North America and Latin America, you will be able to get your Joy-Con fixed for free regardless of warranty. So if you live in those regions, basically all you have to do is contact Nintendo, give them the information that they need, and you send it to them, and they'll fix it, and you don't have to pay a dime. What is that? Oh, it's a squirrel.
Everything okay?
So, yeah, there's something like jumping down by the water. I thought it was an alligator, but that wouldn't make any sense.
Yes, definitely a New Jersey gator.
You confused a squirrel for an alligator?
Well, I saw just its tail come up, and it looked like a pair of alligator eyes, and I thought in my head...
Yes, clearly alligator
I thought in my
eyes.
head that is not an alligator, but I didn't know what it was. Squirrel was not one of my guesses. So, yeah, Nintendo will fix those. So, for those of you who are in that boat, Nintendo will fix it for free. And like I said, even if you're out of warranty, you can just get it done. So don't worry about it. Moving on. Oh, this is sad. As we've talked about before, Earthbound's creator Shigesato Itoi created a book called Iwata-san that chronicled the life of Satoru Iwata. And we're getting some translated tidbits from that book. And some of it comes from Shigeru Miyamoto. They had a brand new interview with Shigeru Miyamoto in the book talking about his time with Iwata because they were great friends. And Miyamoto says, quote, "To me, he was a friend more than anything. It never felt like he was my boss or that I was working under him. He never got angry. We never fought about anything. Normally, if someone younger than yourself with fewer years of experience becomes president, it might be difficult to get along with each other, but it was never like that. It had always been obvious that he was more suited for the position than me, so it never became a problem. I think it allowed us to naturally become true friends." Nintendo, he also talked about how they started a tradition of going out to eat dinner. He says, Nintendo doesn't pay for social Nintendo doesn't pay for social expenses, so we had to go Dutch on the bill. That became a tradition that lasted even after he became company president and I became an executive. He also shared some parting words for Iwata, saying, "Since he passed away, Nintendo has been doing just fine. He left many words and structures that live on in our work of our younger employees today. The only problem is that if there is some good-for-nothing idea I come up with over the weekend, I have no one to share it with the next Monday.
Oh,
that
God.
I can no longer hear him say, 'Oh, about that thing,' is a bit of a problem for me. It makes me sad." It makes me sad too, Miyamoto. That is terrible. And Shigesato Itoi himself also talked about his time with Iwata. Oh, this is rough. He says, Iwata said that the vision... Well, let's not do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to read this part in particular. He says, "On the day of Iwata's funeral, it rained in torrents, and Miyamoto and I were waiting around. Suddenly, I decided to ask him how much chance Iwata himself had believed he had to be cured. Miyamoto responded immediately in a very natural manner by saying, he totally believed that he would become better. He didn't have the slightest intention to die. That answer made me realize just how close Miyamoto and Iwata were and to what extent they understood each other." And then he goes on to say very kind words about Iwata because they also worked closely together. So, yeah, it's sad. From what we hear, there's a very good chance this book is going to get an official localization, which is great because that's something I'd like to own. It's a collection of Iwata asks interview stuff and other features on Iwata, plus these interviews with Miyamoto and Itoi. So it'd be really cool to have, not a fun subject, but an important thing for Nintendo fans, definitely. Pajab has the first comment, and he quotes the part where Itoi's talking about it raining a lot. And he says, Kyoto and the whole world was crying, and it seemed like rain. I will never forget when I found out he passed away, because we were in North Carolina. And I was like, oh my God. I got a message saying that Iwata passed away. I knew he was sick, obviously, but last we had heard he was getting better. I was like, no, this can't be true. But unfortunately, it was.
I don't know. It seems like every time I hear that someone who has cancer is like, on the rebound, it always seems to go south after that.
Are you talking about Alex Trebek?
Oh no, I'm talking about like people I know personally.
Oh, okay. Don't jinx Alex Trebek.
I would never dream of jinxing Alex Trebek. I wish him the best.
I think it's because everybody, when they heard what he was diagnosed with, was like, well, he's got no chance, and now he's like, I'm doing great. So hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, I hope he's in the clear.
From something sad to something controversial. Which
is also kind of sad.
All this week, we've been talking about the case of Chris Niosi. For those who don't know, Chris Niosi is a voice actor who has done voice acting for a whole bunch of projects. And I didn't know who Chris Niosi was before this week, but I certainly know now because I've talked about him nonstop. He was providing the voice of Byleth in Fire Emblem Three Houses and Fire Emblem Heroes. And at least he was. At some point during the week, someone noticed that his cameo appearance in Fire Emblem Heroes, while the character was still there and the voice was still there, he was no longer credited as the voice of Byleth. They just didn't have a name. And everybody's like, what is going on? Why was that removed? Over on Mr. Niosi's official Tumblr, he put up a long post about how basically he's been abusing people for a very long time, physically, emotionally, and other people have come out with allegations over the years, and he was coming out saying, yeah, they're true. So he was apologizing to all these people. And I was like, well, I guess that's what's happening. Nintendo wants to cut ties with this guy, so they took his name out of the game. And then a couple days later, we got another trailer for the Fire Emblem Heroes, or the Fire Emblem Three Houses cameo characters in Fire Emblem Heroes. And we saw that not only had Niosi's voice been removed from the game, his credit was gone along with the recasting of the characters. So they had a new voice actor named for Byleth and new voice samples from the game from this new guy. I forget his name. So it was very clear that it was, it obviously seemed like Nintendo was making their move to get rid of this guy. And I had reached out to Nintendo for comment on the situation as soon as it happened. And I checked back in throughout the week because I figured they were going to take their time to respond. But they actually did respond, and I would love to read you the response, but for some reason
it's unresponsive.
Basically, I'll get it to work.
Hey,
there we go. I got it. No time for that. I'm sorry. Nintendo said, after assessing the situation, we decided to re-record the characters' voiceovers in Fire Emblem Three Houses and Fire Emblem Heroes with another actor. The new voiceovers will be included in a future patch. So, Fire Emblem Three Houses is out now, and Niosi's voice is still in there, but they are going to they're going to replace him in a patch. Arc in the chat right now says he violated NDA with regard to that, so that's why they replaced him. That is not why they replaced him. I saw that discussion. I can't get into the specifics. I can tell you that I know that has been floating around, that he violated NDA and they will remove him from the game, but that's not why they are removing him from the game.
What's NDA?
Non-disclosure agreement.
Oh,
he was the voice of Byleth, and they give you a thing. They make you sign a thing saying you're not allowed to talk about it until a certain point. So he certainly, yes, he did violate his NDA, but that is not what led to the decision of him being removed. It may play some small part, sure, but it's the other thing that popped up that is what really sealed the deal for him. So, people, I don't even want to get into it. People have had mixed reactions to him being removed. Some people saying, he's come clean and he's admitted it. Do they really have to take him out of the game? And some people saying Nintendo needs to do a better job of vetting these people, blah, 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 blah. I'm not getting into any of that. I'm just here to tell you that that's what happened, and we're moving on. Mom Brain, you were going to say something while I was fumbling to try and get that statement?
Well, I was just going to take that moment to remind people
a moment like this
to stay hydrated, because
some people
in parts of the world
hydration.
lately, it's been really super hot, and it is easy to become dehydrated. Also, keep your eyes on older folks, because signs of because they are easily dehydrated, number one, and two, signs of dehydration can maybe not make you think dehydration. So just
So my dad's dehydrated all the time.
That's correct.
Keep an eye.
No, he pees all over my.
Keep an eye on old people, because when they're not looking, you can steal their water.
Right, because they don't need it much longer.
That's right. Super Mario Maker's 2. Nope, that's not how things sound. Super Mario Maker 2's course upload limit has been upped. The limit before was 32 courses, and Nintendo has now doubled it. And you can now do 64 courses. And on top of that, Nintendo has said that they're going to up it one more time before everything is said and done, but they didn't say how many. So there was this whole big controversy when a game first came out, because people were like, 32 courses, what the hell? That's not enough, blah, blah, blah. And I was saying, they're probably going to up it. They just don't want people to bum rush the game with like hundreds of bad levels right off the bat. I want you to think about your content to hopefully curate some sort of good levels, like Storm Area 51 and whatever that one was we talked about last week. So yes, now we're at the point they have, millions upon millions of levels right now, and they're opening it up to let you do some more. Moshigan says, Drew says, that means they are gods. They can change anything at their will. When it comes to Super Mario Maker 2, yes, Nintendo is God. They can do whatever they want, and they have to answer to no one. Nintendo and Tencent are hosting a joint press conference on August 2nd, and this is all about the Switch's launch in China, which doesn't have an official release date yet, but I guess it's coming this year, it seems like. They already have a website up showing like 4 of the big games for Switch, and they have this press conference coming up, and Tencent has been active on social media with the official Nintendo accounts. And so this release in China is happening, man. Nintendo talked about it for a very long time, but things are on the move. So we'll find out more August 2nd, probably a release date. Ricola says, if it's the acquisition of Nintendo by Tencent, I'm out of here. No, I think you're going to be okay. We just saw a feature this week where it was revealed that Nintendo is the second most cash-rich company in Japan. So I think they're okay. They got like $7 billion or something like that. I shouldn't laugh at this, but here I go laughing at it. A Pokemon Go player was arrested in Japan for punching another Pokemon Go player. They were having a fight about a gym in the game, and apparently it got very heated and led to this one guy punching the other guy. Hello, Kim. The attacker was a 40-year-old Pokemon Go or 43-year-old Pokemon Go player who was just so enraged by whatever this other Pokemon Go player said that he punched this person in the face repeatedly. And the cops came and arrested him. The other guy's okay. He's not dead or anything. What we don't know is how long this guy's going to be, in custody. Maybe he's been released already. I don't know. But be careful out there playing that Pokemon Go, especially with all that Pokemon Go, Team Go Rocket out there right now, who's causing all kinds of trouble. Things are getting crazy. New York City was taken over yesterday by by Team Go Rocket. And now it looks like Giovanni's coming in later tonight. I don't know. Things are going bad, man. Yes, Northern has the right answer. He says, get Detective Pikachu on the case. He's the one that's best suited to figure out how this all went down. Zombie Aladdin says, I remember the muggings that went on at my middle school over Pokemon cards.
What?
Glad to know Pokemon fans are still willing to assault each other to get an edge over their fellow players. Muggings over Pokemon cards. I'm guessing he means muggings between
Children.
children.
Yeah,
Yes,
child-
not
Child
like,
muggers.
Child mugging.
yeah, not like adults wandering into a playground and like mugging kids for their cards.
Although that could have happened too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too
For all
far
I
out of the
know.
realm of possibility. Dragalia Lost is now Nintendo's second highest earning mobile title. I won't get into all the specifics, but I will say it has surpassed 100 million in total player spending. And it just beat out Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which sits at 99 million in player spending right now. So people are still playing it. People are people are doing those microtransactions and spending their money. Majipsy says, imagine telling someone 10 years ago that Fire Emblem would be more successful than Animal Crossing on the same platform. Fire Emblem, this is the Fire Emblem. I don't want to say renaissance because it wasn't a renaissance. It's like Fire Emblem's hot right now, baby. This new one's going to do really good, it seems like. The reviews have been fantastic. The series has been riding a high ever since, Awakening on 3DS? It's just, I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, how funny is it that Nintendo has all these franchises, and they had Fire Emblem, which eventually came over here but wasn't really a big deal. And Nintendo was like, I don't know if we're going to do another Fire Emblem game after this one because it doesn't do that well, really. And they made Awakening, and then I guess their marketing just worked because that game really took off and gave birth to the huge Fire Emblem fan base that's going on right now, which I'm sure is only going to grow with the Switch version. So just crazy to me that you can have a franchise that is like, it's been around for 15, 20 years at the time before Awakening, at least 15 years. And it wasn't really doing anything outside Japan, and now it's a hit everywhere. Are you serious? North America this week's downloads, where we get Fire Emblem, Three Houses, Wolfenstein Youngblood, Forager, Fantasy Strike, blah, 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 blah. Arcade Archives, Ninja Warriors, Battle Chef Brigade got a demo, Caged Garden what? No. Caged Garden Cock Robin.
It's a title?
Sorry, what?
Yeah. All four of those words are next to each other. Caged Garden Cock Robin.
Like, with two B's or one?
Nintendo did this press release, so I don't know if maybe two titles were combined into one, but still, Caged Garden, its own
Garden
game.
Cock? Like it's a
or is that a type of robin, a cock robin?
Yeah, that's that famous song,
It's
Cock and Robin.
Cock Robin.
Cock Robin. Not the song I was thinking of, but also a very good one. I was talking about Cock and Robin.
Yeah, but
Cock and Robin, tweet, tweedledee.
Oh boy.
Caldrius. There was that Raffi song, Cock Robin in the Rain.
What's the real song? I don't know it.
What? It's just called Robin in the Rain.
Such a beautiful name, isn't it?
I think that's
Robin in the Rain.
That kid's middle name from Winnie the Pooh.
Christopher Robin in the Rain.
Christopher Cock Robin. Caladrius Blaze, Kaleidoball 2, Garage Mechanic Simulator, Growtopia. Neither of you were here. Damn it. Growtopia, Gunpowder on the Teeth Arcade. Hoggy 2, Invisible's got a demo. Kill La Kill the game. If Mighty Switch Force Collection, which is 4 Mighty Switch Force games in one. Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden Deluxe Edition is coming out on the 30th. Picross, Lord of the Nazareth. Raiden 5 Director's Cut. Raiden 5. I gotta stop doing that. Remothered Tormented Fathers was supposed to come out this month, but it didn't. But Nintendo still included it in their press release. I think it got delayed to August 30th. Cedar's Puzzle Reboot. What? Sheep in Hell. That's what it's called. Sheep in Hell. Smoots Summer Games. Songbird Symphony. Super Mega Baseball 2 Ultimate Edition, which I've heard really good things about. Sweet Witches, Tetsumo Party, The Mystery of Woolly Mountain got a demo, The Tower of Beatrice, Titans Pinball, Trine 3, Umahara Kawase Fresh, Woodle Tree 2 Deluxe, and Zombie Driver Immortal Edition. Hello, Squidbag. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, I'm Squidbag.
Hello, I'm Squidbag. So some big games this week. Autumnal Blake says, picking Fire Emblem up on Monday, the day after the podcast in my time zone. I can't wait to play it and hear the music. Well, I hope you enjoy it, my friend. I'm not used to sitting in the nicer chairs for the podcast because it's making my back hurt. My back.
Need a little pillow?
Need a hemorrhoid. I need a roid cushion. Oh my god, this is so long. No. This is my show. I'm not doing it. Europe's releases are too long. I remember Nintendo telling me it was like over 50 different entries. Go read them. I'll read your comment though. Oh, maybe I won't.
No, that's too long too.
It won't give me the damn comment. Shillelagh says, little doubt what is the big title this week, Fire Emblem. Let's see how it performs in the charts. It should do well. I agree with that. I think it will do well, and so far we're seeing it is doing well. Yes, Mom Brain.
On the deck the other morning having my coffee, it occurred to me that when I was in, I want to say 4th grade maybe, we had to do current events, where you had to, like, at the time, read the newspaper and pick an article, read the article, and then, like, summarize it and give a reaction to it.
Boring.
I remember having to do that.
So, in retrospect, it was, I think, 4th grade, so it was Mrs. Rice, or maybe it was Mrs. Shardison in 3rd. Anyway.
Wait. Mrs. Shardison?
Shardison.
Shardison, yeah.
Shardison.
Shart, yeah, Shart.
No, CH.
Yeah, Shart. It's still Shart.
No, Shardison. Anyway, it was who I...
Don't mind me, students.
Who I later got to introduce to one of my 3rd grade students, which was pretty cool. Anyway, in hindsight, it was her trying to make us, like, well-informed people and to, like, start coming up with opinions about what was going on in our world. And I think that was great. But at the time, I freaking hated it. And I would go through and I would find literally, like, if it was a continued on page 7 article, it was never my current event because it was too much reading. I would find, like, the teeny tiniest little thing and I would, like, skim it and then write about it. And that's, like, didn't do me any good because it wasn't like it was anything I cared about. Maybe at the time I wasn't ready to understand current events. But
how old were you?
I think it was like 3rd or 4th grade.
Oh, come on, man. That's too young.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight,
current events should be about, like, what's going on with the kids in school.
Although I will tell you that when I was a kid and, like, the Gulf War was, like, just starting to be a thing.
I'm sure you were worried about getting blown up or something.
Terrified. I lost sleep. Well, for like 6 months, I thought I had AIDS after the Ryan White story came out.
Yep, definitely.
I have since really, I think, done a good job learning about my issues and going through therapy. No, going through therapy to, like, manage my anxiety. But at the time I was terrified, and I'll never forget how much better I felt when my teacher, like, pulled down the map and, like, talked to us about it and, like, showed us how far away it was. And, like, but, like, now
where AIDS was.
And and, like, as an adult now, I realize that it doesn't matter where the war's happening. Like, you're not safe. But, like, at the time as a kid, that was, like, really helpful to me. But it's funny. I was, like, out on the deck reading Reddit thinking, like, oh my gosh, my teachers would have been so proud that I'm, like, looking at news and, like, current events and forming opinions.
Yeah, you became an adult. It's what happens.
But
for, like,
I actually just encountered an adult today who was like, I choose not to engage in the news. I choose not to. I don't pay attention. And I'm like, okay, well, like, maybe care a little.
I mean, that's fine.
I mean, yeah,
it's like, their choice as an adult. I'm sure there will be certain topics that hit them where they want to talk about it or read about it. But, like, yeah, like, a 3rd grader. Come on, man.
It had to have, because I think I was downstairs at the time, and downstairs was only up to 3rd grade. So, like, I think
they kept the 3rd graders in the basement.
No, 1st floor. Kindergarten through 3rd on the 1st floor. 4, 5, and 6 were upstairs, and whew, apparently now all kinds of crazy things happen upstairs.
Anyway, in current events with Dragon Quest,
there you go.
We have some potential.
Is that how we got started talking about current events?
I don't know how she got started on it. I don't know what took her down that road.
I appreciate that you came with me.
We didn't have a choice.
Who's coming with
7-Eleven in Japan is much different than it is here. Like here, it's just a convenience store. There, they sell a whole bunch of different
A
things.
convenience store which sells hot dog shaped hamburgers.
Yes.
I didn't know they had them over there. I
Oh,
know they
yeah,
have-
it's
I know
very-
they have KFC.
It's big over there. Like
Okay.
they,
KFC's everywhere. I saw KFC in Paris, Germany, and Prague.
you go to like a 7-Eleven. You can go to 7-Eleven there, like sit down and have like a meal. It's not like a waiter comes over or anything, but like they have like what is known to be more than decent food.
But can you buy a pair of used underwear?
You might be able to buy a pair of underwear and then use them.
Okay.
But they also advertise and sell some video game stuff, and they have promotions up for Dragon Quest's hero, who is appearing in Smash Brothers Ultimate, and they're running a display for it. And we don't know when the hero is going to be added to Smash Brothers Ultimate, but their promo materials are being taken down on August 4th of this year. So why take them down on August 4th if the hero is going to be added to Smash Brothers Ultimate either on that date or sometime before it? So that doesn't leave a lot of time for us waiting to find out. So I guess we'll find out soon enough. Autumnal Blake says, alternatively, that could be the time the release date will be revealed. So a new advertisement with that information can be put up. Very good point. That could also be true. Yes. Again, I'm sure we'll find out on or around the 4th of August. Okay, we have a rumor. This is it. That's our last top story. We have a rumor about Doom 64 coming to the Switch. So yesterday, as a surprise, Doom Classic, Doom 2, and Doom 3 all came to the Switch. They're all available right now. I downloaded the original Doom Classic because I can't just say Doom because that also means Doom 2016. I downloaded the original Doom yesterday on my Switch because I had some My Nintendo Gold points and I didn't have to pay anything for it. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll get it. And I love Doom. It's been a while since I played it. It's fun to get back into it. But when we first had an inkling of these games coming to Switch was yesterday before the official announcement. And there were PEGI ratings for Doom 1, 2, and Doom 1 and 2. But those ratings were for the PC and the PS4. When Doom 1, 2, Doom Classic 2, and 3 came out on Switch yesterday, they also came out on Xbox One, PC, and PS4. So the PEGI ratings, for whatever reason, might not have the other platforms listed, but the games came out because they're available now. A PEGI rating also showed up for Doom 64, and again, it says PS4 and PC. So it could be that Doom 64 is coming to all the platforms as well. It would be very weird for Bethesda to put out these 3 Doom titles on Switch and then leave Doom 64 to be just PC and PS4. So more than likely, it's coming to the Switch. We'll just have to wait. King Broly says Doom 64, PlayStation 4. Double take. Yeah, it's not going to be just PlayStation 4. Don't worry about it. It's definitely coming to Switch. We just don't know when. I don't know why they would do like Doom 1, 2, and 3 yesterday and then let Doom 64 be its own thing. Maybe there's a problem with the ratings. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they have some other plan. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a pre-order bonus. Who the hell knows? But I hope so, because I played Doom 64 when it originally came out. And I remember really liking it, but I have forgotten so much about it.
I just remember it had like the giant like display you had at your
I just took a picture of it last night.
Was that the actual like box that it came in?
No, that was like a store. Well, yes, I mean like that. It looked exactly like the box you bought at stores, just it wasn't that big, obviously. But
that was the GameStop display.
That's the GameStop display that they were going to throw away.
Get them to put your name on the back of it.
Yeah. So yeah, I took it because I was like, "What are you doing with that box?" And the guy was like, "We're throwing it away." I was like, "What?
Why would you do it?
Can I have it?" And they were like, "Yeah." So they took a Post-it note and stuck my name on the back of it, and then I went in and picked it up.
Yeah.
Man, that was amazing. I just took a picture of it last night in honor of the rumor. I was like, "Let me take a picture of this giant box and put it on the internet."
Yeah, That must have confused me for some reason. I thought that was the actual like box that it came in.
Pre-order bonus is a box the size of a car. That's our top stories for today, guys.
All right.
Kirby, what have you been playing?
I haven't played anything.
Oh, okay, Mom
Sorry.
Brain, what are you playing?
Stardew Valley.
Oh,
Got
you
married.
left. You congratulations.
Thank you. I
You-
married Emily.
You left. You left your farm for a couple weeks there unattended. Is everything all right?
Everything's fine. It's not like Animal Crossing where like you get guilt. So everything was great. Yeah, I wooed Emily bit by bit, and
Yeah, weren't you dating someone before Emily?
no, just Emily, She's
Okay.
my one and only.
I want to point this out real quick. The Namekian Clown says he has a Yoda from episode 2, thanks to the same kind of situation at a Hollywood video. Wow.
Oh,
nice.
Hollywood
Namekian
video.
Clown, I would like to see that. Roth says, congratulations on the marriage, Mom Brain.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tommy.
Congratulations.
Tommy says something I'm sorry to interrupt you. Tommy says, sound quality is tremendous. Almost too tremendous. Initially, I was concerned the show would lose a little bit of its charm, though. Not the case. As good as ever. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Oh, I was watching last week's episode, and we were getting complaints from like one guy who said that
Too quiet.
the volume was way too low.
Yeah, he's wrong.
Okay.
I double checked. I put on headphones and everything. I even like adjusted everything this week to double check. Like we're hitting the exact mark where we're supposed to be. Everything's good.
It sounded fine to me too.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out what
Everybody's
what the
set up.
issue
I'm
is.
not knocking a person that said that. Matt Fox says that burp came clean as a whistle. Yeah, everybody's setup is different. It depends. Like my laptop speakers suck. I
Right.
have volume at 100%
Well,
and
it's
I
a
can
laptop.
barely hear stuff. If I
It's
plug in the
also, like,
headphones,
30
I'm good.
years old.
So yeah, it all depends.
And full of crumbs and hair.
I can't
Ugh.
guarantee nobody can guarantee that every device you listen on is gonna sound right, but I can work to achieve the best sound across a wide berth of devices will
Mhm.
sound good. So
How are my
I mean,
levels,
he's
by the way?
only one. I mean, you're fine. Everybody's fine.
Okay.
He's the only one I have seen, Twitter, YouTube, the podcast comments themselves, anywhere that has said anything about it being too quiet. So I did, for that one person, go in and check the levels, and everything's good. But anyway, Mom Brain, I'm sorry about your new
Oh
lover.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, we're not lovers. We're
Married.
wives.
So it's a
Sister
loveless
wives.
marriage.
I mean, we're lovers and wives. How about that? She hasn't asked me to adopt a kid yet. I mean, we need some help on our farm. Free labor would be fantastic. Also, I expanded our house. It's winter right now of my second year. So at the end of this season, I'll be in my third year. And I believe I have to go to my shrine, Grandpa's shrine, and something exciting will happen on the first day, I think, of my third year.
What?
Yeah, Grandpa left me the farm. He kicked the bucket and left. He bought the farm and gave
Yeah,
it to me.
Matt, she's talking about Stardew Valley, not real life.
Um,
What the hell? What's going to happen?
But he has a shrine. Is that where he's buried? I'm
y-
assuming.
yeah, there's like a little shrine. No, I don't think it's where he's buried. It's like
Okay.
by his house.
That's where you think he's buried. And then on this anniversary date, he's going to like walk up behind you and be like, gotcha.
Give me the farm back.
You thought
Um,
I bought the farm.
So I'm working on.
Matt thought you were talking about a real friend.
Oh, sorry, Matt. No.
Whoa. Cooter says now if you could only marry RMC.
Ooh,
Ah,
ah.
Zingo.
Um,
Bazinga.
I had to wait until after I traveled. You know, I didn't want my passport to be affected.
Yes.
So that's been that. And I had nobody to talk to on the cruise because everyone was so old about Stardew Valley. Although Beverly and Wally, who I met, are farmers.
well, you could have talked to them about NPR.
Oh,
or
I'm a
something.
farmer too.
I should have been like, oh, I farm. Yes.
I'm going to my grandfather's shrine.
I have a cat named Wumbus.
And a goat named Pee-Pee.
Yep, PP. Also a duck named Nature Splendor. a hog named Jimmy Dean.
That's great.
And a duck named Dirt Bike.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
So you know, everybody's doing great. And my town's happy.
It sounds like a wonderful place.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I much enjoy it.
That says, could you imagine that saying like, oh, I have a farm too, a virtual farm. They would be like, what the F are you talking
I
about?
remember Farmville.
Oh my God, that would be so good. If you were like, oh, I have a farm too. And they're like, oh, really? And then like you take the Switch out of your pocket and you're like, yeah, here it is. Here's my Go
Look at my
PP.
farm.
Here's my Go PP.
This is my Go.
It'd probably blow their minds.
This is my Go. Him saying PP.
Is this like a video feed of your farm?
He only gives milk every other day, even though I keep him happy and give him plenty of hay. It's okay though.
Well, I'm glad your farm's going well and you got a good love life. And
I really have no complaints except that once you get to level 80 in the mines, the bad guys become very difficult to defeat and they take a lot of your health.
Uh-oh.
And so it's hard to get. And I need to complete one of the bundles to complete my community center. I need something in like the 80 to 90 region of the mine. So it's taking a little bit of delicate.
I didn't know farmers had to fight enemies.
Oh, yes. I come from a farming family, actually. I actually do, for the record, come from a farming family. I think we all do.
Virtual
right?
farmers?
No. Actual, real farmers. I guess we all kind of do.
How dare you?
Some way, shape, or form.
Virtual farmers work just as hard.
Sure.
Is that all
I
you
got
play?
calluses on my thumbs.
I got blisters on my fingers.
I think that is all I played.
What is that from? Come on, that's a cartoon.
Blisters on me fingers?
Is that Rocco?
Sounds like Rocco.
It doesn't sound familiar to me, sorry.
Man, I'm so excited for that new Rocco. August 9th, baby. Static Cling. I'm really excited for that.
Why is it called Static Cling?
The show, or this, whatever you want to call it, movie, is about Rocco. Something happens where Rocco, Heifer, and Filbert are in Rocco's house, but it's in outer space, and they've been trapped there since basically Rocco was canceled.
Okay.
And it's about them getting back to, I guess it's Earth, wherever they live, and
Sure.
it's about them like learning about all the things that have happened since they left. And Rocco goes to watch. What was the name of the cartoon he liked? It wasn't the Big Heads. That's the Neighbors.
Well, he was there was like a superhero, right? Called
Not that guy. No,
Okay.
It was the Big Head's son was an animator, and he made a cartoon that Rocco really loved.
Okay, I don't even remember.
And
this.
Rocco goes to see it, and it's like he goes to watch it and finds out it's been canceled. So there's nothing on the channel. It's just all static. And it's about him clinging to the idea of bringing the show back. So I believe in the movie, he's going to start a campaign to try and resurrect that cartoon.
Okay. So the title's like a pun?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was Big Head related. I don't know.
Maybe someone in the chat knows.
Elfman, you might be right. That blisters on me fingers line is somebody yells it, and Elfman says Stewie said it on Family Guy. Yeah, I think you're right. In one episode.
Blisters
Fatheads,
on me
is that it,
fingers.
Roth? Fatheads? Yes. There you go. Elfman and Roth say Fatheads. Thank you.
Okay.
So yeah, it comes out August 9th on Netflix. I'm very excited. What did I play? Because I've already been asked in the chat. So thank you, chat. I played Super Mario Maker 2 just a little bit, just fussing around with stuff. I also played and reviewed Blazing Chrome on Switch.
Sounds like a name someone would give their first car.
Yeah.
And if you are a fan of Contra in any way, shape, or form, you need to play Blazing Chrome because it is amazing. It is amazing. I think it might be better than any Contra game.
Really?
I think it does Contra better than Contra does Contra.
Okay.
It's great. And I struggle with how to explain it, and I struggled in a video review. There are games that aim to be retro. They aim to look retro. They aim to sound retro. But there are very few games that do that and actually feel retro. And Blazing Chrome feels like it's from that era, and I mean it as a compliment. Goodbye, Timothy. Thanks for coming. It's just, I don't know if you had a similar experience, But back when I was growing up and playing games on the Super Nintendo or the Genesis, I would see certain games and I'd be like, wow, how are they doing that with these graphics? This looks amazing. Something like, it happened when I played like Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Or Star Fox or something like that.
Yeah, or even like Yoshi's Island.
Exactly. Games that would push visuals in ways that you didn't really see in other games. Blazing Chrome does that, and I know it's not pushing visuals because
Does that have like Mode 7?
It does stuff kind of like that. Like there's a whole section where you're flying down a tunnel and the camera's behind your back and you're like a sprite, but the tunnel is like a Mode 7 / kind of like a Super FX style tunnel, and bad guys are flying at you, and it impresses me. And I know it shouldn't impress me because we're so far beyond that as far as technical capabilities of hardware. But that's the feeling that I got from back in the day. And I get that whole, hello, Lord Thanos. He's back again, man. Thanos 3 times. This is amazing.
What kind of podcast are you running?
I know, right? To woo in Lord Thanos. So it's just that the whole game, every aspect of it gives me that vibe. And the levels are over the top and weird, and the action is over the top, and the enemies are all kinds of weird and gross and strange and robotic, and it's got a good amount of challenge. You can do local co-op. The soundtrack is perfect for the type of game it is. The end song is amazing. It's like a 80s, early 90s like anthem.
Okay.
So for like that you'd hear in like any action movie. It's amazing. Whole game's amazing. I cannot recommend it enough, even if you have a passing interest in Contra. It is so good. It's so much fun. I've been so excited for our friends to try it because a lot of our friends, A, grew up on Contra, B, like Contra. So I know you guys are going to like it. I played that. I also played Doom, like I said, and I showed some gameplay footage of that on the YouTube channel yesterday, where I talked about how old I am. So it's Doom, like it feels right in a place right. It's Doom. There's nothing really else to say. What else? I played some Sky. I was really looking forward to Nicky Hill being here. He was going to be here, but he couldn't make it, unfortunately. We've been playing Sky on mobile. Sky, that's not the whole name. I forget the whole name, but it's made by the guys. It's made by That Game Company, the guys who did Journey, and Flower and other stuff. I love their games, and their newest game is Sky on mobile. It's free, and it's got a real Journey vibe to it. You're this character that like runs around in these beautiful lush landscapes, and you have to collect these little candles, and you fly through the air, and it's just gorgeous. And the music is beautiful. I need more time with it. It's such a great game. And it's going to come to other platforms. I haven't said what in particular yet, but you play it with like a virtual joystick for camera and movement, which is not my favorite on a phone. I really don't like that. I prefer to have like actual joysticks. So I'm excited for it to go to another platform. I just don't know when. But I like it enough that I can handle doing the virtual joysticks. It's probably the most beautiful mobile game I've ever seen. It's gorgeous. It's really nice looking. It has a presentation very close to Journey, just with some extra bells and whistles in there. It's fantastic. I love it. Then, unfortunately, on the opposite side of the spectrum is Phobia, which I mentioned earlier. I saw the trailer for Phobia and I was like, oh, that game looks kind of fun. Phobia is what I would call a cinematic platformer. So think Out of This World / Another World, or Limbo, or what's the one after Limbo? Inside.
Oh yeah.
Or Flashback. Any of those games. Those are cinematic platformers. There's one on Switch that I really liked. God damn it. The Way remastered.
Oh yeah.
That one. So it's like that, except
it's bad.
This is bad. Yeah. The whole game, I feel, could be beaten in 20 minutes.
Ooh.
And I'm not one to pick on a game's
you could say
length.
the same thing about Out of This World.
If you knew what you were doing, you could beat Out of This World
in
an hour, probably. maybe less, 45 minutes, something like that. But your first time through, no way in
Well,
hell.
no, obviously.
That game took me a month to beat the first time through. But this game, it's just, and it's very, very, very bare bones. I'm going to do a very quick video review of it this week. I have all the footage captured. You're this girl and you run and you jump. And that's about it. It just, every death feels cheap. Sound design is bad. There's some stuff like the ambient noise is fine, but there's enemies that just don't make any noise at all. They run, they move, they jump, whatever. They don't make any noises. You never really feel like you're interacting with anything like properly. Like you go to jump up a cliff and your character gets like hung on the side and like bounces around weird, and it's just it's not good. It makes me sad to say that because I was excited about it, but it's just not. It's not good. It just feels broken. It feels wonky. I believe the game was made by 2 people, and I believe it was a mobile game first. And mobile games, mobile doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad game. It's just, I guess it was designed first for touchscreens, and I don't know. It's just very bare bones. And the worst part of it is it's not a good experience. It doesn't last long at all. It needs a lot of polish, and I believe it's $5. Which is way, way too much. I think if this is going to sound extra mean. I think if I spent $1 on this game, I'd still be angry.
Okay.
It is just not good. So I'll be reviewing Phobia this week, my video review, and you'll be able to see a lot more of why I feel the way I feel. But there's my impressions so far. And that's it. That's all we did. All right, let's do question. Send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. That can be about Nintendo. That can be about video games in general, or they could be about whatever the hell you want. Tony, come in. Tony has has today's question. It says, "I have a question for all of the cast on a scale of 1 to 10. Who are hyped for Fire Emblem 3 Houses on the Switch?" 1. You don't care about Fire Emblem at all, Mom Brain.
No, I mean, I'm excited for people who are happy. I'm excited for you guys. But personally, yeah, the 1.
I would go, hi, Blood Ocean. I would go 6.
Oh boy.
Because I'm scared. Fire Emblem games always scare me. But I am excited for it. I just suck at them. So I'm going to go with a 6. Kirby?
Oh, well.
You are a Fire Emblem fan.
Yeah, but I really haven't played much Fire Emblem recently. Like I played through Awakening and I was like, really, really into that. And then I bought
Fates.
Is that the one where there were like 2 different versions of the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I got Fates and I didn't get very far, and I guess was there one that came out after that?
Sure. Why are you asking me? It's like I run a Nintendo site or something. I don't remember to tell you the truth. Yeah, I should know. Sure, someone in the chat will know.
So yeah, I'm way behind, and I don't know. Maybe I'll get 3 Houses eventually. Well, what I should do is get back into Fates because I bought the game. I should play through it.
Oh,
at least once.
Matt says Echoes of Valencia. I thought it was.
That's the one I forgot.
Is that what it was called? I thought
it sounds right.
I thought it was Shadows. I don't know.
Something
Valencia.
Something of Valencia.
Yeah.
Valencia oranges.
So, what number would you give it then? Scale 1 to 10.
Oh, how excited I am!
Yes.
Oh well, I don't know. For a game that I'm not really planning on playing, in the near future.
Drew says it was Shadows.
Okay, so you were right.
So you have no number.
Yeah, I don't know, 5 or 6, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I mean, I'm glad that they're still making these games. So that's that's something, I guess.
It is something.
Thank you for your question, Tony. Now, I would like to know how excited you are. You didn't tell us. Also, because I actually remembered this week, we have our GoNintendo Patreon question.
Ooh.
We started a special section over on the Patreon for questions, and I'm going to read you the first one right now. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, you're good. Thank you. Human Fart has the first comment, which is a great name.
I love it.
And he says, "We will kick things off weird."
Oh boy. Here we go.
All right,
Oh,
let's
it's a
do it.
good one. Which body part do you wish you could detach, and why?
Detach like permanently? Or...
No, I'm sure you can like put it back on.
Okay.
Just don't lose it.
All right.
Logan in the chat says, "Hey, I'm Human Fart. That's my question. Hi, podcast gang." Well, hi, Logan,
Oh.
and thank you for the Patreon support. And a great question.
I have just made it to the other side of almost 3 years of plantar fasciitis in my left foot. And so I wonder, now that it's better, I'm not leaning towards my left foot as detachable, but when it was really painful, I think I would have happily made that detachable. But I have a question. Now that I'm healed and I'm thinking better, if I remove my nose, can I still smell? Because that might be a choice for me. Like,
I don't
detach my
understand.
nose. Like, if something smells real bad,
You would take your nose
Take
off
my
to
nose
hide
off?
it?
and it would scare the bejesus out of children.
This
which
is
would
something
also be
that
fun.
like would happen a lot for you?
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, I like everything I've got. Fupa? Can you? Is Fupa?
Oh, just for like visual purposes?
yeah, just get rid of it.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Her getting rid of her fupa.
No,
I would take my fupa off.
I could get rid of
Detachable
my beer
fupa.
gut.
I would do back without a doubt. So like, you know, you can wash your back easier and scratch your back easier, and yep, I would do back.
Yeah, I might go with either ears or nose, specifically because I feel like it would make it a lot easier to trim the hair out of them.
Oh, that's
like
good.
I've been getting like a lot of like gross ear hair over the past like couple of years.
Drake says, "How would you wear glasses with no nose?"
True, and I can't wear contacts. So.
You'd have to get like one of those head straps for you.
Yeah.
Or glue them to
Kirby
your
was-
face. Yeah,
Kirby
Drew
was
says you
talking.
could glue them to your face. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like whenever and you know, I'm like at least once a week, I'm like trimming my ear and nose hair, and like you know, I could be doing it for like 10 straight minutes, and I'll always miss something. It seems like there'll be like a gigantic hair. Like
You could wax. It's not nice.
Matt says, "Growing old sucks, Kirby. I know the feeling. All those crazy body hairs."
yeah, ugh.
Autumnal Blake in Patreon said, "For me, it would be a single eye so I could do homework and watch YouTube at the same time, or other things
Gives
like
me a
that."
headache.
Ollie on Patreon says, "I take my legs off so when Mrs. asks me to do loads of jobs around the house, I could say, can't, love. I've lost my legs."
Can't love, lost me legs.
And then Human Fart, who asked a question, said, "I'd say my arms. I feel like I would be able to get more comfortable sleeping if my arms weren't in the way." Oh, man, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
That is
No
a
wonder
good
he
point.
asked this question. He had a great answer. Hello, Starwolf. Starwolf says, "What is this? This isn't Nintendo."
But then how would you get out of bed?
You put them back on.
Roll off.
Would you be keeping your arms in bed like next to you?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
true.
you'd need to like a special, you need to have like a shirt that already had your arms in it and like, you know, like hanging by your bed. So you just stand up and go into the, into the shirt. Starwolf, I don't know. This conversation is clearly related to Nintendo. Obviously, if you can't make the connection, I'm not going to draw it for you.
Sorry, you missed the part of the show where we actually talk about Nintendo.
Hello, Brian. And did I say Piplup? Hello, Piplup. All right. That's our questions. Now, unfortunately, we still have to do music the old-fashioned way until I figure out a way to work this better this week, hopefully. Mom Brain. Music has been missed. Nintendo music trivia, Starwolf. People are very happy to have it back. Are you ready? Apparently not. Well, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, well, let's go. I'm waiting on you.
Come on.
You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
Okay, so
Star Wolf is ready.
I'm so glad. First song today comes from Glitter Bubble 3.
Is this a DS game?
No, GameCube.
Okay.
Okay. It's got weird lyrics. Sega loves their lyrics.
It is Sega.
Oh. Okay, it's not Billy Hatcher. GameCube games. Sega. It's not a Sonic game.
No.
What the hell? It's not a Monkey Ball game. What the
No.
hell else did Sega do? It's Phantasy Star.
It is Phantasy Star Online.
Oh, okay.
Well done. That was from Glitter Bubble 3, and it was Phantasy Star Online from the GameCube. This one comes from Mikey3319.
Turn up a little bit, please. Super Nintendo?
Yes.
It might be a Square Enix game.
You look so precious just then. No, I don't think so.
Harvest Moon.
No.
No, but I don't know. Arrow the Acrobat.
No.
We don't know.
It was Super Bonk.
Oh,
I've played that game too. I used to own it.
I played it once, but not enough to remember that.
Apparently, you played it very late at night and had to have the volume down.
I don't really remember any of the music from it.
So that was Super Bonk on the Super Nintendo, and that was
Hey, where
from
can people send music
Mikey3319.
for
They
GoNintendo
can send their
trivia?
music to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Where?
gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Oh, okay.
Toad64 knew that when Toad64 sent us this song.
Oh, I know this already.
Oh, it's so good.
Love this song. Oh my god, I'm letting this whole song go because it's so good. I don't think there's ever been a greater song in like song history.
Okay.
Really?
This song's great.
It is great.
Mozart, get out of here.
Something's different about this version, though.
I was gonna say that.
It's not as pronounced.
Is there like a remix of it?
I don't know. If
Might be
there
like
is,
the Famicom version.
Oh, okay.
Okay, stop this. It's Gyromite.
it was Gyromite on the Nintendo Entertainment
Now
System.
hold on a second.
And that came to us from Toad64.
I need the real one. Gyromite music. Oh yeah, this is the right one. Oh my god, it's so good.
This is first day of summer vacation in the car with a full cooler on your way to the beach.
Yeah.
Right?
It's impossible to be unhappy.
You're right.
Our friend Andrew Foote I played Gyromite at his house for the first time, and I heard this song, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard. Oh, yeah. Okay. That is a good song.
I was trying to stop it.
Oh, no. That's
I was like, wait a minute. Where's it coming from? So that was Gyromite from Toad 64.
Arcade Perfect, I did not see that because I'm here. But I will look when I get done.
Here comes one from Wired.
Thank you, by the way. Sphinx.
No.
What
Darkman.
system is this?
Cube, and it is not Darkman.
Eternal Darkness.
Yes.
Oh, that's what's in.
And I believe that this song was sent in memoriam as one of the composers.
Oh,
if the
yeah. Composer passed away. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Recently. Rest in
Yes.
peace. Man, I unfortunately don't remember your name.
May the rats not eat your eyes.
No, I hope that's said at my funeral.
Oh, that's on his tombstone, I believe.
This comes.
When I die, keep the rats away from my eyes.
Song comes to us from Sheikah Warrior, who I've been in touch with a bit lately, and who has graciously decided to contribute to your Patreon.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, we humbly accept your doll hairs, your patronage. And also someone, like I said, who I've been in contact with a lot lately. We've had some very good thought-provoking conversations. I owe you an email back.
Are you leaving me?
I'm not leaving you. I have been away, and I was actually pretty close to your neck of the woods fairly recently, but I wasn't there for very long. So this song comes from Sheikah Warrior. Now, the original link didn't work in YouTube, so I tried to replace it to the best of my ability. If this is not what you intended, please let me know, and I will give you a do-over next week.
Oh, I was going to say it's DS. It definitely is. It's Nintendogs.
Yeah! This one's for Winnie.
For a second, I want to say Austin Powers, the game, but I don't know if that exists.
Speaking of Austin Powers, I was in one of those carts at the airport with my grandmother because she needs assistance in the airport, and they threw us in one of those carts. And at Heathrow, the dude had to do a K-turn, and I was like, anybody see Austin Powers? And all of the people, because they fill up the cart. So it was like me with my grandmother's carry-on and my carry-on and my backpack and her purse, like all on top of me, so that like 3 other people could fit in the cart.
Some of the people in Midsummer saw Austin Powers.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
I'm watching Austin Powers.
Oh, Midsummer.
Okay.
So that was Nintendogs from Sheikah Warrior. This one comes from Blood Ocean 07.
You gotta be kidding me. I was just listening to the soundtrack this week, and I've never heard it before. This is really weird. I never played the game, never heard it in my whole life. Oh, I touched the microphone.
Can they hear my nose like breathing? I feel like but I'm
It's
close.
Bucky O'Hare.
It is Bucky O'Hare.
There's one song in this game that is, I mean, the soundtrack's good overall. It's that Konami like feel, but there's one song that is amazing in this soundtrack. I don't know what you're doing when you hear this song, but it feels like a boss fight. It's just so good. But it's got that Konami feel, definitely.
Bucky O'Hare. Kirby, I forgot to tell you.
What's that?
Every morning on my trip on the boat, do you know what I had for breakfast?
Muesli?
Yes!
Nice.
It was is delicious.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I don't mean to pressure you, but we are running very late.
We are not. We can go as late as we want.
It's our
that's
show.
True. That's true. I'm not supposed to say that anymore.
This comes from Alien Boy.
Is this another Sega game?
It's not.
It's too happy.
No.
Well, whatever it is, I like it, but I have no idea what it is.
On Switch/mobile.
Oh, okay.
Oh, now you're giving me a big hint. That's a very small category.
You probably still won't get it.
Well, it's not Arena of Valor.
Nope.
It's that Pokemon game that I don't know the name.
It sure is.
Give me a second. Pokemon Rumble Rush.
No.
Pokemon Scramble
Nope.
Rush. Pokemon Rumble.
Nope.
Pokemon. Oh no.
Oh no.
Stop this song,
Please.
please.
Happy to help.
Yeah, they're very blocky.
They sure are.
Pokemon Scrumble. Scringle.
Pokemon.
Pokemon. What is it called? Adventure. Pokemon Journey. Pokemon.
Close. You're close.
Am
You're
I
in the
really?
neighborhood. You're in the neighborhood. Adventure, journey.
Pokemon Mission. Pokemon Quest.
Yes. Pokemon Quest.
Oh, right. I forgot all about that game.
Okay, so that was Pokemon
Man.
Quest from Alien Boy Va.
I gotta play it for that song.
This one comes from Jet Jaguar.
Focus all attacks. Drum and bass loop. I got nothing. You got something?
Nah. Nope.
GBA.
We're gonna go with we don't know.
Well, first I should ask if it's licensed,
No.
and then tell you that.
We
Give
don't
up?
Yeah.
Car Battler Joe.
What? That's a game?
really?
Yeah.
What?
Car Battler Joe.
Is he related to Card Battler John?
Well, I had it as written as Card Battler Joe, but it is car, like CAR, like toot toot.
Car Battler.
Car Battler Joe.
What a title.
It looks awful. Car Battler Joe from Jet Jaguar. This next one
Good for you,
comes
Jet
from
Jaguar. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
He's the guy you focus all your attacks
This
I
one
know.
comes from Steister.
I don't know which one, but it's Excite Truck or Excite Bots.
It's Excitebot.
Okay.
Trick racing.
Trick.
So they made Excite Bike. Then they were like, hey, how about instead of bikes, let's make trucks. And then after that, they were like, hey, how about instead of trucks, let's make giant grasshoppers.
Right.
And other animals. I thought both those games were fun.
All right.
I liked Excite Bots better.
So the last song for this week comes to us from Prat Trap.
You got the power.
I'm trying.
I'll wait until you're ready. We don't get this is
It died.
Whoops. Oh,
Jesus.
okay. Well, this is The Touch by Stan Bush. I'm guessing the game is Saints Row 4.
Nope.
Oh, okay. What other game was this in? Far Cry 3.
No.
We're gonna get a copyright strike. I don't know what game this is in at
Guitar
all.
Hero.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
but I
okay.
don't know which one though.
Guitar Hero on the Wii.
Okay.
I mean, there are a few of them, so
you
I
could
don't know.
turn that off.
Well, that song's been in a few video games, hasn't it?
All right. So you did not get Car Battler Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we keeping you?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
From your
really
nap.
tired. Well, I'm used to being with the old people. I think that was the only one you didn't get.
Really?
Yeah, you got Phantasy Star Online. Did you get Super Bonk?
No,
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 all
no.
right.
All right, so we got 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I'll take it.
All right.
Kirby, you had a song you wanted to play?
Oh,
us out
right,
with?
right.
To play us out.
To play us out. So to play us out, I'll be playing the classic theme song from the 90s Swamp Thing cartoon.
Oh, that's right. Well, as he's queuing that up, thanks for watching and listening, guys. This is great. And also, thank you to our Patreon gang. I greatly appreciate your support. That's it for this week's show. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. Play some games, hang out with friends and family. Relax, rest you deserve. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
That's too loud. I don't remember that song at all.
That's the only thing I remember
Swamp
about
Thing.
yeah, it's the only thing I remember about the cartoon show.
Matt says, if you make the podcast show at least 30 minutes long and Patreon only, I'd sign up. I'm not making the podcast Patreon only. No. I have some ideas for things I want to do over there, but I don't want to play my hand yet. Some things to discuss. Post show, yes, Matt, and everybody else here for the post show. Anything you want to ask or have us discuss or whatever, just let us know. I'm more than happy. I was saying last night on Patreon that I needed to get my comics in order digitally, and I did that. I got everything. No, Steve, I have not considered Twitch. I need to get a new computer before I do anything like that or consider anything like that. I got my comics all in order digitally. The list of everything I have to keep, a running tally of what I actually got and keep track of what's coming up. I got it all in order, and I'm very happy to say we are the owners of 300 comics.
Wow.
Can you believe it? 300. Tommy says, how about MC Hammer cartoon theme? That was a great
Hammerman.
cartoon. That was a great cartoon.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
Drew says, how do you feel about shadow dropped games? I kind of like it. It's exciting for me to be like, oh, this game, like they did with Blaster Master 02. I was like, oh yeah, awesome. This game's getting a sequel. Oh, and it's out today. I like it. I'm excited about that. Yes, Brian, I use Comixology too. I'm Rummy Cowboy over there, I think. I had been keeping up with it weekly for a while. I read all my comics weekly, but then I fell out of the loop of actually logging in my stuff every week. So I'm all back up to date. Yeah, if you want to go be nosy about what comics I have, you can go over to my Comixology account, which is Rummy Cowboy. You can see what I got and what I've read. Did you guys see Another Life on Netflix? No, what? I don't even know what it is.
Oh, I think it's like a sci-fi series. I don't know anything about it.
I was telling Kirby, and I was talking about it on Patreon yesterday, that I have been watching The Expanse, which is a sci-fi series, and I'm greatly enjoying it. It's very interesting. It's I don't want to spoil anything, but it's definitely it has a unique vibe to it. Yeah. I should include the after show on Spotify. Oh man, that would be difficult because I'd have to rip the after show from the YouTube video and then add it in because the only place to get the after show is YouTube. Steve says people are saying the Doom 1 switchboard is running badly. I've played it and noticed nothing. Well, Steve, I've played it and noticed nothing as well, but maybe I need to play more of it. I don't know. Hello, El Javelina. Sorry you're joining us just for the after show. Matt says that... What did he say the name of the show was? Afterlife? Another Life. Matt says Another Life is a sci-fi show about a craft landing on Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, Roth, I've heard lots of good stuff about Deadly Class as well, but I haven't watched it. I'm watching so many things now. I'm trying to stick with just The Expanse to get caught up on that, and then I'll go back into the other things I was watching and things that I need to catch up on. Like I was watching, I'm finding it very, very, very hard to not watch the new Queer Eye because I've watched 2 episodes and I love that show. And I'm like, no, I gotta stop. I gotta focus on The Expanse, which I also like, but it's just I love Queer Eye so much. It's just so much fun. Oh, now you've done it.
Mother Peppy.
The cat is joining us for the podcast. If you have any questions for the cat, please go right ahead and ask.
Look at him.
Steve says, have you seen the show Dark? It's amazing. We have, Steve. Mom Brain and I have both watched the first season. Yes, we know the second season is now available here. And that's another thing I want to watch. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. I was almost going to start Dark, but then Mom Brain made the really good point of me watching Stranger Things' newest season before it got spoiled because that's going to be talked about a lot more on the internet than Dark is. So I watched Stranger Things 3. Did you finish that season, Kirby?
Sorry?
The 3rd season of Stranger Things?
Oh, yeah, I did. And there was something I wanted to talk to you guys about.
She hasn't watched yet. She's
I
watched like
downloaded
2.
a bunch of episodes and then couldn't watch them. There's an issue with the download, and then I couldn't re-download them in Germany because it wasn't allowed, like where I was.
That's allowed?
Well, I mean,
so I'm stuck.
I could probably talk about it in front of you without giving anything away.
I like this game. Go for it.
It's not like a plot point or anything.
I'm ready.
Okay, well, so there's a scene where a character is seen reading a book, and the thing I wanted to bring up is that I read that same book in grade school, and it had the same cover. The end.
Aww.
I don't remember what book. Can you tell me what book? Or is it a...
Well, I could tell you, but then I might give something away.
Okay, don't tell me.
Yeah. We'll wait till she falls asleep.
Am I going to watch...
In the next 5 minutes.
Give it about 10 minutes.
Am I going to watch The Boys, says Mikkel. What's The Boys?
Is that the one about the kids,
Oh,
killer kids?
No,
that
is that...
You got really into that.
We saw
The
a-
Superhero. Yeah.
Carl Urban, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to read some reviews first, so I don't know. I was kind of interested, but I was iffy.
It's weird that there's that show, and there's also like a Watchmen show coming out.
Yeah,
on, like HBO.
Watchmen I have a lot more faith in because it's HBO.
Did you hear Robert Redford? Right?
Oh,
Is
I
in
need
it?
more
He's gonna be
information.
in it,
Yeah.
as himself,
as the president.
Yeah, I mean, I believe he's in one of the trailers.
I haven't seen any trailers for it.
Oh, it looks great.
Okay.
You know what looks really good to me? Roth says The Boys is. He heard The Boys is really good.
Why is it called The Boys though?
Because it's like they're hanging out, like the boys.
There you go.
I mean, that sounds plausible.
Picards.
Yes,
is it called Picard?
I think it's just called Picard. Yeah.
Did you see the trailer for it from Comic-Con?
No, I really don't watch trailers. that
Oh
often.
my god, it looks so good.
Okay.
So good. Drake wants to know, what do you think of all the new Marvel film and TV shows? I mean, I'm in. I'm 100% in. Now that I'm like reading comments and everything, I'm very excited. There's nothing in there that I'm not excited for. I'm trying to think of what I'm most excited for. I think it's really cool that Blade is coming back. But that's not going to be for a while.
Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Who I like. I like him a lot.
He's a very good actor.
I'm excited for the Black Widow movie. I'm excited that Taskmaster is in it because I think he's a really funny villain.
Unintentionally funny.
Yeah, just that name.
Yeah.
I love that stupid name. I do like the idea of a supervillain that can just like watch somebody do stuff and be like, yeah, I can do that too. I like
Is that how it works though? He just has to watch them do it?
I believe, yes, he studies them so closely. He has
Okay.
the ability to mimic their movements after just watching them for a little bit.
But is it like an actual like superpower, or is it just like he's just that
A
good?
copycat.
I mean, I don't believe I believe he's also like very strong as well.
Okay.
So that ties into it. But no, I don't believe he just like watches somebody and gets their strength.
If
Because
it's-
like you could be as good as Superman and learn all the moves Superman does, but they wouldn't be
Yeah,
impactful.
well, I was just it's different from like say Rogue touching someone and getting their powers.
I believe, yes.
Okay.
I'm not super well versed on Taskmaster. He's in one of the comics I have read. Plus he was in
the
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
game.
game. Yep.
I'm reading the new Loki comic right now, which I really like what they're doing with it. It's very Loki. Well, I guess I can't talk about it because it's kind of spoilers. But yes, I'm very excited for the Loki show. Mom Brain is as well.
Yes.
Because she's a big fan of Loki. Oh yeah, Drake, we're subscribing to Disney Plus without a doubt. No
Yes.
questions asked. No questions asked. I know a lot of that Marvel stuff isn't going to be there day one, and we got to wait until like May 2020 for the next Marvel movie, which is going to be the Black Widow one, which has the girl from Midsommar in it, who I thought was a
Yeah.
fantastic actress.
And she's a perfect like. She like looks like Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with the character as far as if she's going to be like the new Black Widow, because Scarlett Johansson is in this one, but we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm really interested to see where the next wave of movies takes us. Plus, I think I might be most excited for WandaVision because I love
Yeah.
Vision, and I don't get me wrong, I love Wanda too, but I love Vision so much. I've loved Vision since I was a kid.
Since what the arcade game?
The arcade game was where I first found out about him, and I always
That's
played as
probably
him.
where
But then
I
I
learned
read
about him,
like
too.
a couple comics with him in it. I just, everybody else was like your traditional superhero-looking character, and then there was Vision, who's just in the game at
Raw.
least is
Looks like
all
raw
like
skin.
completely weird, like ivory-colored
Flying robot.
puddle of a man. It was very weird looking. Yes, I have super fond memories of that game. All right. That was a fun after show. We got a minute left on the export, but I think we should get out of here. Kim says, I'm going to get Disney Plus for all the old cartoon shows. Don't care about Marvel. Yeah, I mean, what old Disney stuff do I want to watch?
Tailspin?
I never really was big into
Isn't that Rescue
Tailspin.
Rangers?
I wasn't really big into them. DuckTales, yeah.
I wasn't into any of those.
Gummy bears.
No, Gummy Bears I watched.
I was going to say, that seems like a Mom Brain show to me.
I watched like
At Disney, are you going to be adding Dumbo Circus to your Disney Plus service?
Suck a butt. Dumbo Circus was fantastic.
Dumbo Circus, Dumbo Circus. No one is watching, but Daniel loves it.
Coming to visit. You won't want to miss it.
You-
It's coming
Kathy.
to visit you.
Kathy, my cousin,
Yeah.
who is a huge Disney fan. Yes, I'm excited for The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. She had the Disney Channel before we even had cable, and she used to record like multiple VHS tapes of just all the Disney stuff, all the cartoons and everything from the Disney Channel,
Yeah.
and give them to us to watch. And every time I'd get to Dumbo Circus, I'd be like, "What the hell is this?"
Well, I
like, I
actually
watched a few
had the
episodes.
Disney Channel and I watched it.
I watched a few episodes because my sister watched. Yeah, Blood Ocean. I don't think Disney Plus is going to add in Song of the South. I think they're going to
Oh,
forget.
sweet Jesus.
And on that note, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, everybody. And we will see you on Thursday next week for a very special early show. And I don't know what's going to happen with it, but we'll see you then. We'll see you then. Goodbye, everybody.
everybody.
Are they at least going to add that cartoon where Donald Duck is a Nazi?